How you doing, everybody? It's Greg Whitstock, the pond guy. I'm out rebuilding a pond, and I heard from Brian, and he said to me, hey, record a little opening about your event that you're going to be doing at LAL 2021. So I'm going to be there in November. I'm excited. It's been a crazy year. We've been building ponds like crazy. If you're in this industry, you have been going crazy with people improving their homes. But anyway, I missed last year. I'm super excited to get back together with people. I'm not used to doing that with big groups, and Brian does a great job. So if you're not registered for LAL 2021, register. I'm going to be there talking about building a team. I got 130 teammates with me. I still get my hands out. I still get my hands dirty out in the field with these guys, but I'm excited to be in a room learning, because when you stop learning, you stop earning. LAL 2021, I'll see you guys there. I love my job.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys. Folks, we are shooting this podcast real time. We are shooting this here in the middle part of October, and I'm really excited about this guest interview that we have today. Now, we're not going to do a solid pitch here or anything like that, so hang tight, don't flip the track, but we do want to talk about marketing. We do want to talk about postcards, and we do want to talk about helping you guys grow your business. Well, we actually have a returning guest from none other than Postcard Mania. We got Samantha Heald on line 2. So Samantha, good afternoon. How are we doing today?
Good. How are you, Brian?
We're doing good. Just I think we're actually kind of dealing with the same weather that you guys are down in Florida. We're dealing with 80s and low 80s, and I'm waiting for the 50-degree sweater weather. But it's funny because you guys are down where again in Florida?
We're in Tampa. We're the Tampa Bay area, enjoying our shorts and flip-flops, which we probably will be for the next month or two.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know. Maybe us too up here in Michigan. I do not understand. I'm not a big proponent of global warming, but I don't know. The fall seems to last longer and longer every year, and it's been getting more and more warm. I don't know. Maybe have something to do with El Nino or whatever's going on, but who knows? But well, if you guys haven't heard the podcast episode we did with Samantha earlier this spring, it's absolutely worth a re-listen to, because we talked marketing, we talked color philosophy, like when you're designing print and media. And so long story short, here's the reason for this podcast episode. We're sincerely not going to try to do a big hit pitch here. We have a lot of topics we want to talk to you guys about, including ways to design a successful postcard, because Samantha and I were spitballing back and forth, and I said, Samantha, I want to give these guys value. I want to help them with their marketing efforts. And right off the cuff, via email, you said, I got a great idea. Let's talk about successful marketing strategies, including how to design effective marketing materials like postcards, yard signs, and like newsletters or whatnot. So we're going to focus on postcards today. Now, if you guys don't know Samantha and her team at Postcard Mania, you guys know on launchpreneuracademy.com, we made about 15 plus postcard designs and templates available in a PDF art form. So by themselves, they're not editable, but they're extremely generic, but also extremely niche down. So they're still specific enough to help you guys to market your business. And so what you can do is, you can purchase that PDF art file. It's $75, and you can put your name, phone number, and your logo on the back of the postcard. And literally, you have plug and play postcard designs instead of spending $150 to $250 with the designer. 5, 10, 20 hours getting a postcard made. We literally have these plug and play templates and door hangers on the website. And so we've partnered up with Postcard Mania. They were the ones that built these things, and they're generic, but also very specific at the same time. And so they're actually the folks that we use for our printing, for our postcards. And if you want to take that PDF art file that you purchase off of Launchpreneur Academy over to Postcard Mania with Samantha and her team, we have a whole account for them and a corporate account. They will make free edits on that design for free in order to earn the print business and to help you guys with purchasing whatever the quantities are, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, and even some EDDM campaigns to help you guys with marketing your business if you want to do a mailer. So it's really, really cool, the partnerships that we have going on for you guys to just literally streamline the business. And so I said, Samantha, we've got to get you on the show. We're transitioning. All of us are transitioning to fall. We're transitioning to winter, right? We're getting our ducks in a row already, even for 2022. So let's go into your background real quick. Just a lot of words just to give some context here, but let's go into your story really quick. What's your background? What do you do at Postcard Mania? And how long have you been working for these guys?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been with Postcard Mania for the last 17 years, which is kind of insane, and you don't hear that loyalty these days. But Postcard Mania has been around for the last 23 years, so I've been there pretty much from the beginning.
Okay.
And Joy Chindusa is our owner. She started the company from the ground up, basically kind of same situation that all of you guys are in. She had no investors. From the start of her business, she was working out of her house. And now we've got about 320 employees.
Whoa.
So she's extremely passionate about helping small businesses grow, whether it's with our company or with somebody else. She offers tons of free marketing advice because she just wants people to be educated in marketing and know what they're doing so that the money that they're investing in is actually investing into something that they feel confident in and feel like they actually made the right decision for their business. So
that's awesome.
Along the way, we've learned a lot of things, as far as what works, what doesn't work. And we've created a checklist of 12 elements of a successful postcard. And the intention is just to make sure that every single postcard that's created, whether it's from us or somebody else, if you guys want to get it done elsewhere, that's fine too. But as Brian said, all of the designs that we've created for them was all based off of these successful elements.
Yeah.
And I'd like to go through them just to kind of give you an understanding. I figure we can list out all 12, kind of dive into them a little bit, because that's something that anybody can take, whether it's, like you said, designing a yard sign, a postcard, a billboard, or any other kind of marketing that they're looking to do.
That's awesome. I'm so fired up about this. I love talking sales and marketing, probably more than any topic, in business, right? Before we jump into it, because I want to hear from today's show sponsors, and then we're also going to start getting into these 12 points. But let me ask you just a quick question. And, I don't know what you can reveal or not reveal, but do you have any stats about Postcard Mania that would blow anybody's mind? Do you guys move 1 million postcards a month, or you guys are one of the largest players out there in print and media. And I'm not just saying that. When we were trying to link up with somebody to facilitate all of you guys calling in and bringing these designs to them, respectfully, we couldn't just do the local small print shop. There's already been dozens and dozens, honestly, almost hundreds of you guys that have taken these designs there. And so to keep up with this volume and the print and having 2 corporate account managers now for all of you guys that call in on Samantha's team, it's a huge undertaking behind the scenes. So I'm very cautious and I just really respect you guys, your time, your money. I don't want you guys to be dealing with, bad people, shiesty people, or scammy people. So I had to look high and far. We actually false started 3 times with 3 different vendors. And I'm like, I actually canceled orders. I said, this isn't working out. Got my deposit back. Went to a different company. Wasn't working out. And then 3 or 4 times, for real, it took about a year to get all these postcard designs made up. I find Postcard Mania, and they just got it. I was working with one gentleman before. He's like, dude, what you're doing, we rarely do something like this. This is insane. We've never seen anything like this. You need a girl. You need this girl, Samantha. Link up with Samantha. And I remember the first call or email with Samantha. You're like, what are you doing again? I'm like, I got this lawn care. I don't even remember this, but I'm like, I got this lawn care YouTube thing and this podcast thing, because I don't know what to call it. And you're like, I gotcha. I think I know what you're trying to do here. Let's work together. But do you have any stats on Postcard Mania? You said 300 plus employees. Any other crazy stats would maybe blow some people's minds really quick?
Yeah, I think we're on target this year to have generated about 40 million in sales, which is a huge company. That's a huge amount of revenue.
Wow.
We also print and mail about 3.5 million postcards every single week.
No way.
And Postcard Mania, and Postcard Mania, we send out, I think it's about 180,000 postcards every week for our marketing. So no fail, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas week, Thanksgiving, apocalypse. We pretty much mail out every single week for our own marketing, and we're probably one of Postcard Mania's biggest clients. So we stand behind our product.
Wow. That's actually really cool. So when we're talking about volume and you guys want 5,000 or 10,000 postcards, that's not a huge order. Your local print shops can do them, let's be honest, but you get 100, 200 people calling up, one certain place. I mean, Paul has one of our friends, he's another podcast, and he has his bookkeeper, and they just get inundated with calls. Well, we got to be very selective with who we partner up with. So, all right, well, we're going to go through this 12-point checklist. It's actually really good. So don't tune me off if you guys aren't, excited about postcards or whatever. Here's what you should be excited about is making money. And thou who is most effective will get the money. Period, case closed. I don't care if you lay stripes better. I don't care if you do better work. Necessarily, in the beginning, it's going to come down to marketing. I always call it the great equalizer, because I don't care if you've been in business for 30 years or 30 seconds, whoever gets the phone to ring typically is going to win and get the business, okay? So if that sounds exciting and interesting to you, I would encourage you guys to hang tight for just a quick minute. We're going to hear from today's show announcements, and then we're going to come right on back.
Calling all landscape pros who want to get serious about healthy turf and a healthier bottom line. It's time to throw down new innovations. Built on 50 years of proven agronomic proficiency, Lesco fertilizers, control products, seed, and equipment are engineered to produce more resilient turf. We'll continue to bring new technologies, so no matter the day, you'll always bring your A game. Upgrade and outperform with Lesco. Visit siteone.com/Lesco today to learn more.
Mr. Producer here, and I love quality audio. That's why I recommend IsoTunes. Save 10% on your next purchase with Brian's 10 at checkout. That's isotunes.com. And once again, here's Brian Fullerton.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to go right on back to Samantha. I'm really excited about getting into these 12 bullet points. Now, I am looking at my phone, so we got a little bit of a cheat sheet here, but we're going to do this kind of rapid fire, maybe 12 points in 12 to 15 minutes here, and maybe we'll kind of tie up some loose ends with anything Samantha wants to, add at the end. But Samantha, I'm going back to you. So we're talking about effective postcard designs, whether they use our, templates, which all of these 12 principles we've baked into our designs for these guys. But let's say somebody wants to make their own, or they graduate from some of the designs that we have available. That's totally cool. What's the first thing that Postcard Mania and you guys' checklist here? What's the first element that you guys like to include in your designs?
So the main point that we focus on, and it seems so silly, but it's a clear, bold headline. You have about half a second to grab somebody's attention, and a lot of people think if they get clever with the words and come up with something cutesy, that it's still going to grab their attention, but it doesn't. So you need to have something that's really just clean, simple, straight to the point, clearly explains what your product is in a split second.
Okay.
That's like number one. That's like the most important.
Let me ask you this really quick, a little side tangent, because I'd love to get your professional opinion. Talking about like yard signs or postcards, I've heard people say, don't put your name at the top row, put a service, a call to action, an intention grabber, like fall aerations or sprinkler blowouts or, cracked concrete ? What's your guys' professional opinion? No right or wrong answer, but I'm just curious, what do you guys think? Putting the company name at the top, which is generic, or grabbing somebody's attention as they're driving, out of Chase Bank, and you got that, like you said, that half a second impression. What works most for you guys, I guess?
For sure. Have something that communicates the service or the product. For sure. That's like a no-brainer, because the company name's great for brand recognition. But if it's something like a last name, that doesn't really communicate what it is that you're offering. So they're going to see that last name and be like, oh, no idea who that is, and keep driving. So
right.
The point is that you want to have something that's going to communicate. It's, you see house for sale all the time on the right, the side, or buy junk. It's like you see these like couple of words that grab your attention. You want those things to be the things that impinge it.
Right. And it's
so same thing.
Yeah.
with a postcard.
I love that thought, because it's like one of those things where you're looking sometimes for the low hanging fruit. And if you put fall cleanups or fall aerations and somebody's like, man, they're just having a conversation with their husband or their wife, we need to get the lawn aerated. And then, they go across town and they see a yard sign and it says fall aeration. She'll like literally pull the car off to the side of the road just to take a photo of the sign. Right. So I love that. That's really, really good. So I know we're all business owners. We're very proud of our business and our name, whether it's, Brian's Lawn Maintenance or like, next level landscaping. That's cool. I say this with love, only you care about your business's name. Like you're not trying to market your business's name. You're trying to market your business's service, especially like Samantha said, you get a half a second. Is that what you said, to make a first impression?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. You got it. So it's good to have the logo on there. That is 100% an important thing, because we want to make sure that, especially if you're going to do repeat marketing and getting your name known, eventually your logo and your name will probably become well known if you're promoting enough. But to grab their attention for somebody who doesn't know you, you need to make sure that it's very clear and simple and just explain to them immediately what it is that you do.
I love it.
And the same thing with step number 2. Step number 2 is a relevant image. A lot of people, again, think putting a picture of a dog on there because they love their dog, because it's the greatest idea ever. Well, if dog was prancing around in leaves, then it's relevant and it makes sense. If the dog's laying on the couch, it doesn't make sense. So it's just finding something that's relevant and plays a part in what the service is that you're promoting, and making sure that it draws them into what you do.
So relevant images is number 2, something that's relatable, right?
Yep.
I love it.
There's also a lot with the eye trail. One of the things that is not mentioned actually on this 12 elements, but it is something that we keep in mind when we're designing everything, is the eye trail. Because one thing you have to think with too is that if you have a picture on there and someone's looking off to the side and off the postcard, but your text is on the other side, your eye gets confused on which direction you're supposed to be looking in. So there's also a little bit that goes into that, and making sure that the person is looking at the text. So then that way they're actually drawing their eye to read what you want them to read.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That does make a lot of sense. Absolutely. This is actually really, really good. I love hearing stuff like this, because I actually do get lost in the weeds with marketing and like the psychology and the psychosis of people, whatever you want to call it. Like, I've been studying this stuff for 15 plus years. Shout out to Mr. Cerisa with my high school marketing class. But any which way, Samantha, we're headed back to you. Number 3. So after a good bold headline and then relevant images, number 3, colors that pop. What does that mean?
So that means the things that you want to stand out on the postcard, a billboard, whatever ad you're doing, you want to have it in a different color than just like your logo and all the other color scheme. You want to have things on there like the call to action. We usually recommend having that in a really bright color and having the offers in a really bright color, and something that just stands out, because you have to have certain words that have emphasis. So then it draws your attention into them. So if you have that color that pops, it's just going to break up some of the, the whole design and kind of draw you into certain things that you want them to look at.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I've seen people, and we do this on all of our postcards. One thing I was really adamant was having a red circle that says, now accepting new clients. So you got this brown, fall postcard for leaf cleanup. One of the designs we have, it's incredible. I mean, it is probably the best looking fall leaf postcard. I'm for real. I looked at hundreds of them, okay, when I was putting these together, and I wanted to do it perfect. I wanted to do it right. I wanted to do it so first class for you guys. And I said, hey, make sure you add a now accepting new red bold circle clients, to the front middle. So you're scanning this whole thing, and then it says now accepting new clients, and it breaks it up, and it's got those bright, bold red color, even on a brown, leaf cleanup postcard. We got it on the all of them, actually. All of the designs have that red, now taking on new clients. So colors that pop. Samantha, what do we got for number 4?
Number 4 is special offers. And I think this is probably one of the most important on the card. And I've had people that have said, I don't want to offer them anything. We get cheap people. We get people that want just one service and that's it. And then they blow me off. And I get that. There's always going to be those people, unfortunately. But it is really important because even if it is an affluent individual, they still like a good deal.
Yeah.
So it's just important to find something that you're willing to offer that is going to actually get them excited enough to pick up the phone to call. Because that is one thing. Like these days, people are so busy and they're more likely to text or email or do something else, go online and check you out. So if you can do something that's like, man, this is a really good deal, let me pick up the phone and call because I want to find out more. Maybe, I mean, for cleaning, there's probably only so much you can do, but maybe it's, a percentage off of square footage or something like that, or a free mow for the spring if they do a fall cleanup. That way you're getting the business for future. There's all sorts of different things that you can come up with.
I like that because you don't have to always give things away for free or, hugely discounted. Like, in fact, you can put, a call to action on an aeration, an overseeding postcard or whatever. You can say, sign up now, refer your neighbor, both receive 10% off. Well, instead of giving away 2 free mows or, $100 or $1,000 off of a landscape design, have the neighbor immediately recruit their neighbor, and the 10% that you give both of them off, you're still making double your profit right off the bat because you're getting 2 customers instead of just the 1. So it's beyond profitable. Instead of saying, hey, we'll give you 25% off your first aeration, offer to get 10% off for them and the person they refer. And you know what? It's going to be, you're going to make an extra $100 by having somebody else do the work for you. So it doesn't always have to be freebies. It can be incentivizing them to, call now, but also to cash in on a deal. I love special offers. Just word them correctly.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And I think it's just important to make sure, and you're absolutely right, it can be something added in as like an added value, or an extra service that you do for them that maybe doesn't cost you a lot of extra money because you're already there, but clean the gutters, while you're there. I don't know, you'd have to come up with some ideas, but just thinking of that, getting something else in addition, if you're already there cleaning it and doing stuff, is there something else you can add to it that doesn't cost you a lot in like time and effort?
I like it. And by the way, if you guys listening in think that you're not susceptible to special offers, you'll lie about other things too, because how many of you guys, I know there's somebody listening that's a Black Friday sucker, just like myself for many years, and you go to some stupid department store, and if you're the first 200 people, you get the special whatever, the stupid radio or the stupid, electronic or whatever. My sister-in-law, God bless her, I love her. She is that girl. She will go at 5 a.m. to Macy's to get the $20 freebie of perfume after she spends $250, of course. And so if you don't think special offers work, you guys lie about other things too. All right. I had to throw that one in there. Shout out to my sister-in-law, Sarah. All right. So she'll probably kill me if she listens to the podcast, but my family doesn't listen to my podcast, so it doesn't matter. All right. You can be top 100 in the country, but oh, that's too funny. I'm still the squirrely like weirdo, but all right. Number 5. It's been a long day, guys. Samantha, you're gonna have to bail me out. What's number 5?
Number 5 is a sub headline on the back. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. It's one of those things you want to add because it continues the communication from the front of the postcard to the back side of the postcard. So that's something simple and easy, but some people forget about it. And I'll go right into number 6 because I think this one's really important. But number 6 is benefits. And a lot of people get confused because just listing your service doesn't necessarily communicate a benefit. It's like you could have, I'm trying to think, it's actually really hard to come up with benefits because you think of features. Features would be weekend hours. Weekend hours, like we can think about it, but the benefit is the fact that you don't have to leave work or figure out your lunch schedule. It's like you can do it on your own time because it's a flexible schedule. So there's different ways that you can communicate the benefits on the card, and you have to think with the homeowner. Well, it's like maybe you have weeknight hours. That's a huge benefit for them. Just trying to figure out different things that would be more of a benefit for them.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm also thinking like in the mindset of like what you can put on the card. Instead of marketing the service you do, market the solution you offer. I've learned that. I've learned that from so many guys as well. Like on our fertilizer postcard design, we have a photo of a kid, and I think his mom or his dad, whatever, or even the family, laying on the lawn. and they're all smiling and it's happy. And the impression, it says, let us take care of your lawn, or let us treat your lawn. But it's a photo of a family on beautiful, lush grass enjoying family time together. So we're not like fertilizer service, first app, $40, like some True Green special. We're offering solutions. Or I know a lot of folks out there, Samantha, they'll put a guy golfing, right, on the lawn care postcard and say like, Saturdays were meant for golf, not for 2 hours of laborious, landscaping work, so
Yes.
I don't know if that's what benefits mean, but to me, when I think benefits too, I'm thinking market solutions, like take back your weekend. That's something that you can put on there and show, like you playing fetch with the dog versus, do those photos, talk about photos, contrasting photos, and having somebody like toiling, in the yard versus the other guy. This could be you, right? I see those all the time for vacations.
Yes, for sure. And that's the thing. It's like just figuring out how you can provide a solution to them. And I think that is exactly what you're saying. It's just something, instead of just listing out all these technical terms for what you do, it's like put it in terms that they can actually understand and a reason why they would want that. And I think that's kind of the point of it.
Yeah, well, I saw somebody else had a postcard once. I thought it was really good. It says, your neighbor just signed up with us, and this is what they're doing this weekend. How about you? And it was,
I love that.
Yeah, for real. I was like, dude, so if you guys want to capitalize on like peer pressure and like HOAs and homeowners, and they're busy, but they're all trying to keep up with the Joneses, let's just be honest. And so it's like your neighbor just signed up with us and he's like on a hammock drinking pina colada, and you got the other guy like saying, why haven't you signed up with us? I don't know. If I got that postcard, I'd be kind of pissed off, so I don't know. I'd probably call that person, sign up with them, I'm still laughing about. I
agree.
I'm still laughing about my comment earlier. By the way, I'm sorry. I've been in the heat all day, so it's been a long day. All right. So
one thing I wanted to mention, just really fast on that, one cool thing that you could do too is if you were looking at doing like a smaller, more targeted direct mail campaign, is that you could also take the residents of the clients that you have already, if you're in a certain neighborhood, and do a radius around those addresses and go out like a mile or so if you wanted to, or half a mile or 100 addresses, and promote to those people that are around the homes, because it's also amazing for you guys because you don't have to drive as far to the next clients. If you can get more of them signed up in the same community, it's more efficient for you and more profitable. So you could also even think with that is doing a campaign, just a radius around your customer addresses and trying to focus on certain neighborhoods.
I love that idea, like a radius bomb, because if, let's say, some of you guys listening, you have pool companies, and you can say, get the client's permission and all this other mess, and, offer them a free pool cleaning for $200 if you can use a photo of their backyard, right? Get something in writing. But then, like Samantha just said, canvas that whole subdivision and say, hey, the Joneses just got a new pool. How many more years are you going to wait until you get yours? Because everybody who says they want to buy a pool keeps saying one day we're going to have a pool, right? So put like some wife with a little, white cloud that says just one more year, like, hasn't it been long enough? ? And then you could have another photo contrasting and saying, hey, we just installed this and this could be you. And in 3 weeks, you could have the dream pool of your life. I think just sharing benefits and painting the dream is such an easy, very simple thing to do if you're intentional behind the design. All right. I just get so fired up, Samantha. I need to let you do more talking. I'm sorry. So
it's totally okay. I know we're running short on time too. I wanted to pick up just probably the other few key elements that I think are probably the most important, because one of them is like return address. You guys know you put the return address. That's a good idea.
Yep, absolutely.
But another thing that I do think that is really important on the postcard that Joy stresses a lot is putting reviews on your postcard. And it seems silly because you're like, oh, nobody reads those. But if you can do like a 5-star review and putting some experience on there of somebody who's actually used you, it also goes a long way. And people can see it's like real people that are excited about the service and doing well, and that goes a long way. So I think if you can do that and push the review, that's also going to be extremely helpful.
I love the testimonies. That was 5-star reviews, your return address, and then even a map of your location. Those are some of the other ones that we got here on the list, because I think those are super critical. And what did they say? I think Josh Latimer said, like, what is it? Like reviews, products sell, reviews tell, or something like that. So be a telling company, not like a showing kind of a company or something like that. So I probably butchered that one. There's two other ones in here, Samantha: call to action in a bright color, and then for the company name and logo. So let's talk about those last two. And I think that's 10 and 12, or 10, 11, and 12.
Yep, exactly. So the call to action, again, just how we're using that color that pops. We really do recommend trying to use a different color for the call to action, because that is the point. It's like you can have an amazing postcard and it look gorgeous, but if you don't tell them what you want them to do next, they're not going to take the time to figure it out. So if you tell them, call me today, or go onto my website and download a free report, whatever your call to action is, you have to be clear in telling them what you want them to do and have it in a different color. So that's going to be the thing that draws your eye to it.
That makes a lot of sense, because you like you said, you want to have them go through this like journey on the postcard. You get their attention, you get these photos that start reinforcing the message. Then you start kind of selling your service. They might flip over the back, another subtitle and heading that like kind of reiterates the fact, or maybe it talks about benefits again, and why they should call now. Maybe there's an incentive somewhere in there, and then might list out a couple services, and then the photo, the name, the logo, to the final call to action. So is that kind of like the workflow of a postcard when somebody's flipping through this thing? It happens in 3 seconds or less, but is this kind of what you guys are talking about, the psychology behind the design?
Exactly. And I think it's interesting if you actually think with it from a consumer standpoint, or even just going through your mail when you're at home, see how mail makes you feel. It does create like an emotional response, and you do tend to read it from left to right as you would. So there's just like a way that you can have the eye trail set up, because you're driving them to do those certain steps and they don't even realize it, but you're almost controlling them when they receive that card. And that's important, because then if you're controlling them in the right way, they're going to do what you want, which is to call, and make an appointment and have you come out and do an estimate. So those are all really important. I will also touch on one thing that it doesn't talk about too much in this, but making sure that you have a good website is also very important, because 9 times out of 10, if somebody's interested in the postcard and they like your service and they want to check you out, they are going to go to your website because they want to do a little bit of research themselves. So if you do not have a way for somebody to fill in their contact information, or have a good way, again, with like iTrail and getting them to do something, getting them to contact you in some way, it is also jeopardizing that result. So we also do look at that as well when you're doing a campaign with us, is we want to make sure that if we're driving traffic to a website, if we can recommend a few little edits, we'll tell you. And if you can make those, that's amazing, because we just want to make sure that you're actually converting these leads.
Sure. So so good. So good. Let me ask you about this. Everything being said about the postcard designs, let's say we went through all 12, bullet points here, and somebody's, on the fence, right? They're like, I don't know about postcards, and, everything is social, Samantha. Everything is social, Instagram and TikTok and Google My Business, which are all great. But what have you guys learned? What have you guys know? And somebody might say, well, you guys are biased. You're actually printing them up. But give me some third-party stats. I'm sure you guys have FAQs all the time. What is mail dead? That's one thing I want to know. Is mail dead? Are postcards dead? Is mailers dead?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like these days, when you're doing online marketing, which online marketing is crucial, and we know that. We've actually developed programs. We actually have a program called Everywhere Small Business that ties in Google and Facebook marketing with the postcards, so that we can do the same online ads that look like the postcards.
Oh, cool.
So don't get me wrong, online is important, but when you're doing direct mail, it's like if somebody's mailing a postcard and they're interested and they look at it, they're not going to Google and looking at 10 other companies that are just being listed down the page to call and quote every single one. If you send them a card, they're more likely to go with you and be interested in you because you prompted them to look into the service, and they're interested only in you because you made that happen.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you guys this. You guys are listening in. Samantha wants to sell postcards. I've got designs. What we really want to do is help you guys grow. And Samantha jumped on here. We're not trying to pitch anything. We're trying to pitch helping you guys make profit. Okay, here's the deal. Let me ask you guys just open questions. Just think about it. You're driving down the truck. You're on your lawnmower right now. the last time you went to the gym and you signed up for the gym, some of you guys go every day. Some of you guys haven't been in years. Obviously, my chiseled 8-pack, go regularly, obviously, Samantha. But but let me ask you this. Last time you signed up at the gym, was it from a digital ad, some, thought influencer, or was it some postcard that you got in the mail? I guarantee it's a postcard that you got in the mail about a special at the gym. No disrespect to all my, workout influencers, okay? But people going to the gym, it's because you got a Planet Fitness, an Anytime Fitness, a Lifetime Fitness postcard in the mail. The last cleaning person that you guys signed up, was it because you Googled cleaning people, or was it because a postcard came in the mail and you had a postcard that said, tired of cleaning your house? Wish there was a better way? Looking for somebody local that you can safe and trust and can have inside your home that makes your family feel comfortable at the same time? And it's like some little dude with his pail and, with a big old smile. The last person you signed up, was it for your cleaning of your house? Was it from a digital ad or for a postcard? I will bet money that it was because of a postcard. In fact, literally about 2 weeks ago, we just signed up a new cleaning company to come clean the house because our other girl got a full-time, that was cleaning our house. She got a full-time job bartending. She took over this new restaurant. Awesome opportunity for her. She couldn't pass it up. I don't blame her. But the week of or the week after, we got a postcard in the mail for a cleaning company. I'm not going to advertise their name, but they're a bigger outfit around here. And I told Liz, I go, we're calling these people. And she goes, well, we don't know who they are. I go, right, because we've never called them. and so and so she's like bopping a baby on one arm, and then she's like trying to cook pasta at another arm. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the deal. I'm just being honest. I said, look, I'll give you a week to find somebody else. I said, if you don't, if this postcard is a random postcard that came in the mail, I'm going to call these people in a week if you're not going to find a solution. And I'm not, being tough or whatever. We're just busy. We're so busy, just like so many of you guys listening in, right? And so check it out. A week goes by. I follow up with Liz. I had a rain day or a day off, which has basically been this whole fall. And we've been getting a lot of rain, Samantha, up here. So I go to Liz. I said, hey, did you find another cleaning person? And she goes, well, like, what about so-and-so? What about so-and-so? She goes, I'm home. I'll clean. I go, babe, I love you. It's just not happening. I'm calling the cleaning people. So I call them up. They actually came over a week later. They got to talk with Liz. I was worked out great. They're actually starting here next week. And so here's the deal. Postcards work. I promise you they work. Whether it's the 1% return, the 3% return, you guys can get lost in the weeds and the numbers. We all can. But I know that postcard and hand billing or mailing, it's chum in the water. It absolutely still makes the phone ring and dial in 2021. I hang my hat up on them with door hangers and hand billing. So Samantha, any final thoughts that you got for postcards? Because I'm a big fan. I think they work.
Yeah, I would say tracking. I think tracking is also a good thing to think with. I mean, with any marketing that you do, you're going to want to try and do the best you possibly can to track it, because I know if you guys are busy and out there, mowing lawns and cleaning things and raking and all that stuff, it's hard for you guys to be keeping track of where your new leads are coming from. And I think keeping as best as you possibly can, I think keeping some kind of log of that is important, because then that way, if you're investing money into any marketing, you're not going to know if it's working without really looking at the numbers. And I've actually had, I actually have a personal friend of mine. She's a very good friend of mine, and they have a heating and air conditioning company, and they were doing direct mail, and they stopped after they finished their campaign. They said, okay, good. We're going to hold off for a month or two. 2 months later, they're like, we need to start the postcards again. And she was like, I just noticed, like, all of a sudden, like, we're not getting as many new customers and this and this and this. And she's telling me, I was like, okay, we'll start immediately. We'll do a rush. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting because sometimes, like, and she wasn't even tracking it that well. And she was tracking it, but not great. And the other thing is, too, is like, she couldn't necessarily tell that it was a direct correlation from the postcards. And I think that's one thing for you to think with is, even if you're doing billboards, if you all of a sudden, if that's the only marketing that you're doing, and all of a sudden you're increasing and you're getting new clients, but they're not saying it's from the billboard, it probably is still from the billboard. And I think you kind of have to give it the benefit of the doubt as well. And also think with that, if you're introducing a new type of marketing into your realm of marketing, you just think with, okay, that change is creating more leads. So it probably is having to do with that.
I love it.
So I think kind of thinking Yeah, I think that's really important to think with.
Well, and that makes sense. Like the overarching theme here is it's one tool in the tool belt for your greater marketing machine. Okay. So that's where I look at postcards. I agree to what you were saying, Samantha, about your friend with the HVAC business. Just like an engine that hits on all 8 cylinders, I don't think social is the V8. I don't think TV or radio is the V8. I think they're all a separate cylinder, and when they're all firing correctly, you have a fantastic marketing machine. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater and say postcards don't work, and you're dumping money into Facebook or Google ads or radio spam or voicemail bombs. Like, postcards work great. You have to marry them in with a system, a greater campaign, and maybe that's new to you, or maybe you're trying to learn, maybe you have never spent money in business before to make the phone ring. Most of us, we started our own business. We were employees before, and we're not used to making investments, like spending a 7% or 10% of our revenue back into the business to get the phone to ring and to continue to ring, because you're not making investments as typically as an employee for the company. So it might be unusual to be like, I got to spend $800 or $1,500 or $15,000. Yeah, you do need to market to get the phone to ring and to get customers. And so just a little paradigm shift, because sometimes people are like, wait a minute, I got to buy a postcard design or get a postcard made up from your place or our place, whatever. And then you got to drop $1,000 into postcards all the time. It's like a standing order for us every spring and every fall to get postcards made up, because we still got to pass out flyers for, aerations and snow. And actually, and you guys, I'm a big put my money where my mouth is. I ordered 2,500 or whatever the baseline was. Maybe it was 3,000. We got 3,000 fall postcards and 3,000 snow postcards. So you guys have seen that on YouTube. We're doing what we preach. We're not just here to like make a buck or anything like that, because I'm still trying to grow my business. We're trying to get more customers at a higher rate, get new customers, trim the bottom, the deadbeats, right? Just like you guys are. So this has been just a really, really helpful conversation. Samantha, where can people catch up with you and the rest of the Postcard Mania team? Maybe they have questions, that just on these designs, or, I've never done an EDDM campaign or a business select, whatnot that you were talking about. Maybe they just have questions and they're like, hey, I know I need something, but I don't know if I want to drop a $500, $1,000, $1,500 yet on a design. Can they reach out to you guys, ask questions, or where can they, I guess?
Absolutely. If you want to send an email, just send it to VIP@postcardmania.com, and that goes over to me and my team. I have 2 consultants under me, which is Kristen and Hannah. Either one of them are going to be probably the people that you would be dealing with.
Okay.
But if you send an email over, we'd be happy to answer any questions. You also can go and check out, we have a landing page set up for you, Brian, that has some examples of some of our pricing, some of the templates, and you can go to postcardmania.com/Brian to check it out as well.
I love it. In fact, we'll leave that link in the show notes for you guys. Maybe jot that down on your phone really quick. Maybe you guys can revisit that later tonight as you guys go home, and can maybe go on the website if you guys are on the lawnmowers right now, like I probably am. It's postcardmania.com/Brian, and you can see all the campaigns that these guys pre-selected. I said, well, here's the kind of folks that have the businesses that we're talking to and the sizes, and we bantered back and forth for quite a while to get some actually pretty fair pricing and some cool campaigns and products together for you guys, saying, hey, like, you can get 3,000 and it's a pretty fair rate. You get 6,000, it's a pretty fair rate. The more you order, the better the pricing naturally. So if you guys do get any of the designs on from launchpreneuracademy.com, they're under the store. It's a PDF art file. You can take it to Vistaprint. They got to resize it for $5, and you can print your own by slapping your logos on the back. Awesome. If you want to take it to Postcard Mania, they can do the same thing or make edits on there for you guys with maybe adding some custom photos or taking a service out or adding a service in, right? But either which way, if you guys want to have some customization and somebody to personally hold your hand to help you with your next marketing campaign, to me, that's what it's all about. I want results. If I'm spending money, I want to make sure that I'm doing it right and that somebody's got my back. And honestly, they can hold my hand through the whole process. That's what Samantha and her team is here to do for you guys. It's not a pitch, honestly, but I'll tell you what, Hundreds of you guys have been picking up the designs, and we truly appreciate the support on launchpreneuracademy.com. And I know Samantha and her team with Postcard Mania also truly appreciate the support. So Samantha, that's what I got. Any quick last comments? But if not, I know we got a hard stop here. You got to get running, and where can people find you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, just go to the website. Another thing I was going to say too, as I mentioned, Joy is always striving to help small businesses. And if you go to our website, just postcardmania.com, there's tons of marketing articles on there completely for free, all sorts of different ideas. If you have questions on certain products, even if it's not just postcards, if it's online marketing, you guys can go on there and read as much as you possibly want. Just download anything that's on there.
I love it. And I also, because I'm a client, I'm added to the newsletter. I get the, I don't know if it's weekly or monthly, but I get the newsletter. I read them, and some of you guys think I'm just all day pitching stuff, man. I'm telling you what, I use the stuff that I'm talking to you guys about and promoting. I get the newsletters and I read them every time. So I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. Samantha, I'll tell you what, from me personally, we super appreciate the partnership. We really appreciate that you guys are treating the folks that call in first class. I haven't got any like complaints or hey, this is ridiculous.
I hope not.
No, honestly, like nothing like that. I'm sure sometimes there's like people that are trying to figure out budgets and money and all that kind of stuff. Having good campaigns costs money, but we've I don't know. I just out of the mold when we started our business, we always we're throwing $500 to $1,000 a year into postcards, and it might be a sticker shock. You're like $2,000 or $500, whatever. When you're used to making 10-cent flyers at Staples. I get that part, but guys, invest in your business. Josh Latimer, last thing I'll say, Josh Latimer always said, marketing is like a special machine like a casino machine or something like that. He said, it's where you put quarters into the top of this, magical machine, and out the bottom comes dollars. And he said, the only crimp in that hourglass or the bottleneck into that equation is how many quarters do you want to put through the top of this machine? Because if you're putting quarters in or nickels in the top and dollars are coming out the bottom, he said, how many nickels do you want to put through the machine? And I was screaming in my mind's eye, like I didn't say this out loud because I didn't want to look like an idiot, but I'm like, all of them. And he goes, and if you're yelling in your mind right now, all of them, he goes, you have the right answer. And I was like, yes. That was actually at Keith Kalfas' marketing ROI event about 4 years ago. So, all right, guys. Well, that's enough for me talking today. I am going to go get a sip of water. It's been a long day. Samantha, we truly appreciate your time, your partnership, and anything else you got. But if not, we'll button up right here.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And I'm really enjoying working with all of your referrals. So thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll button up right here. Samantha's got a hard stop. She's got to go pick up the kiddos from school. So we don't totally want to respect her time. If you guys are new here, don't forget to hit the follow button. We super appreciate you guys listening in. We got new episodes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday without fail. Links in the description for Postcard Mania. And you guys can also check out a couple of YouTube videos we did with them. By the way, if you buy the designs off launchpreneuracademy.com, all of Samantha's info is inside the program, including the art file. So we got you connected. If you ever have questions, shoot me an email. We got you guys. All right. Well, we'll button up right here, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. We look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Calling all landscape pros who want to get serious about healthy turf and a healthier bottom line. It's time to throw down new innovations. Built on 50 years of proven agronomic proficiency, Lesco fertilizers, control products, seed, and equipment are engineered to produce more resilient turf. We'll continue to bring new technologies, so no matter the day, you'll always bring your A game. Upgrade and outperform with Lesco. Visit siteone.com/Lesco today to learn more.
Here's Brian Fullerton talking about one of the benefits of purchasing the postcard designs from LaunchpreneurAcademy.com.
Hey, I don't want you guys to have to spend 10 hours trying to get these things designed and all that back and forth, especially if it is during the busy season.
Your time is valuable, and so is your money.
If you buy 2,500, you get 500 extra cards for free. If you buy 5,000, you get an extra 1,000 for free. So that's some of Brian's discounted rates that you're getting.
That's Samantha Heald from Postcard Mania, who is Brian's preferred printer for these proven marketing pieces.
Buy the design from Launchpreneur Academy. Email up Samantha and her team. We have a direct link and contact info to reach out to them. And if you guys take that design, that PDF art file, Samantha and her team will make minor edits for
For free. Yep, for free. We're doing it for free.
So if you want more customers and discounted pricing on printing, then the proven postcard designs and templates at L'EntrepreneurAcademy.com is the way to go.
Because of the fact that we print all of our own stuff in-house, there are certain tiers and quantities for us that it makes more sense where you guys are getting better price breaks.
Catch Brian's full interview with Samantha on episode 173 and crush your marketing efforts with 11 new postcard designs to go along with the 4 seasonal card designs from last year. L'EntrepreneurAcademy.com.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.